If you think a new relationship, that new car, that new house, a job, this perfect new version of a future that you created in your mind is gonna make you happy, that belief right there is the reason why you are unhappy. I say that because you've convinced yourself that peace lives somewhere else. Hi guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today we're going to be talking about, I don't even know what I'm going to name this conversation and this video. A lot of things are on my mind. I really just want to talk about the in-between season. The season where you are not where you used to be, but you're also not where you want to be yet. How you have to just really bloom with grace, whatever life plants you. Wherever you are, you need to be able to just bloom with grace and accept where you are for where you are. Change your perspective on how you see life and live life every second of the day and be present in wherever you are and enjoy life for what it is and what you have. To connect all of that together on the real reason why you are unhappy. Because when those two things are combined, it really just gives us the result as to why we are really unhappy. And a lot of us are unhappy with our lives, uncontent. There is this chase of like just chasing after things that we don't even know we want, or maybe there's a vision that the Lord has shown us, we were chasing after that, but we don't have that yet. So we're in this place of like just chasing and unhappy because we don't have the thing that we should have or we think we should have. And we have a vision of where we think that thing is, but in reality, our life is happening in real time right here, right now, but we can't see that because we're so focused on where we think we should be. If any of that resonates with you, thank you so much for clicking on this video and stay so we can get right into it because there's so much to talk about. This one is on the longer side because this sit down and talk with me, especially when I'm on this couch, I really want to dive deep with you guys and get there. A few weeks ago, I don't know, something hit me where I genuinely had this epiphany moment of like realizing that I am not present at all. In fact, I am so much living in this crazy, futuristic, dreamy future that I created in my mind where I see myself going, that I am literally neglecting my present moment and I'm not being present. In fact, that bleeds into me not being as grateful as I should be. And I know I am grateful deep inside. I think I'm somebody who cannot not have gratitude because of the life that I've lived and how gracious God has been on my life and me and how far I've come. That I will forever have gratitude in me, but it has definitely led into me not seeing the small things God is doing in my life. It's like because of this huge thing that I created here, of where I see myself going, I am neglecting my present moment and I am not being grateful, even though I know I'm grateful. And if you know, you know. And I kind of pointed at this in so many of my videos in the past, but I specifically said it on my last one, that, and it's kind of been lingering. I really never really talked about it, but it's been lingering there for a while. And I didn't know how to talk about it because the whole slogan of this channel and like becoming, it's ultimately trusting God in the in-between. This video is really honestly for anyone that if you feel stuck in the in-between period, in this place where you don't really identify with how you've been living your life, how you've been dealing with things, who you were in the past, but you're also not this version of yourself that you see for your future self, this best version of yourself, the best that you can be, and sort of even the vision that the Lord has shown you for your life of, you know what you want, you know the outcomes that you want out of life, you know your purpose, you kind of know where you want to go. So you're not really there, but you're also not there. So you're like in the middle, and this place of the middle is scary, and it is uncertain, and it is very confusing. Like I said, the reason why you're unhappy is because you think whatever this new thing or this future version that you created in your mind is going to ultimately give you the happiness that you're looking for and the peace that you're looking for. When in reality, your life is happening right here in real time, right now, which is why the present moment is everything. Without the present moment, I don't know where we would be. Give me your past. Show me your past. Can you show me where the past, can you really show me where the past is right now? When this is all we do is think about our past, and we live in our past in our minds. But if I ask you to actually give it to me and show me, and right here, right now, show me where your past is, you won't be able to do that because the past doesn't exist anymore. It does not exist. The future hasn't happened yet. So the only thing you really, really have, and the only thing you can capitalize on, is what you have in front of you. So many people go on with their life unhappy and unsatisfied and not content because they are living in this crazy version in their minds of where they think peace is at or happiness is at. This idea that life is going to be better elsewhere. I'm really trying to put into perspective, and I realize when I make these videos, I'm very let me be careful what I say. My thoughts are all over the place, and I really try to structure them in a way where you guys can get what I'm saying. English being my second language, sometimes I feel like I have so many thoughts and so many things that I want to say, but I don't really know how to organize them to deliver the message, because I understand it for myself, and I'm a very deep thinker and I'm very depthful, so I know what's going on in here. And when life hits me with a kind of wisdom, or the Lord kind of puts this seed in my mind, it kind of grows and it becomes a thing, and it's so many things happening. But as I make this videos, I'm really trying to get better at communicating that to you guys and getting the idea out there. If you can get anything out of this video, one thing I want you to keep in the back of your mind as I'm going to really break this down, is where you are is not the problem. It's how you see where you are. That is the real issue. It's a perspective game. It's a mindset game. And it is about how you look at your life. And if you think that better is elsewhere, you are never going to be happy in this life. You are never going to be content. Being grateful is going to be extremely hard, even if you try. And it ultimately is going to bleed into everything else that comes with the life that we live. This experience that we're put here on earth to have. Because I believe that the Lord put us here for a reason, and how I experience life is not going to be the same as how you're going to experience life. It's not going to be how the next person is going to experience life. Actually, that's our power, and that's what makes us different, is the fact that every single individual that's on earth, that's here, and is having an experience, is that every individual's experience is different than the other. And you are you, and I am me, and we are all attentive to ourselves. So that's what makes us different. So without me getting way off topic, we're here on earth to experience this life. And so in this life, trials, tribulations, hard things, suffering, pain, love, joy, we are meant to experience all of these things. And if we think that better is elsewhere, and if we think that this thing that we find and will be very satisfied with is elsewhere, we are never going to be happy, and we are never going to be content in the life that the Lord has given us. We only live once, we're only here to experience this life one time. That's it. That is all that we get. So in order to get the best out of that life and to genuinely, I don't know, like make the most of life, we have to be present, and we have to stop thinking that better is somewhere else. We have to stop thinking that once we arrive, we're going to be happy. We're going to be at peace. We're going to be satisfied. This is kind of like a download the Lord brought upon me that made me realize that I've been on escape mode without even knowing it. And I'm somebody who says, oh no, I'm still, I'm really still. I'm with the Lord. I talk to God. I'm calm, and I honestly, I think I'm present. Like, I'm actually present with the Lord. I honestly, I had to take inventory of my life and how I've been living. And to be honest with you, that was not the case. And a lot of it is because of anxiety that came from this idea of a future that I envisioned for myself. And one thing I wanted to say is that there's nothing wrong, with having a future in your mind that you want to have for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think the problem is when you start idolizing your future and you think what's here isn't valuable. You think what's here there's no point in it. And there's so many things that we can look at in life that reference that to us, that what we are experiencing at this second right now is more valuable than anything else. Because in the in-between season, our character development and who we become in the process of where we're trying to go is the whole entire point of our existence in this life. What if nothing changed in your life and everything stayed the same exact way? Would you still be happy? Would you be present? Would you be going at life in the most positive way possible? That is a question that I had to ask myself a few weeks back, because I realized that how I've been looking at life is through the lens of like escapism, that I just thought that, like, I don't know, like I genuinely felt that I don't know, this is like literally an inventory that I have to do of my life, of like, I thought that, I don't know, better was elsewhere, that I would feel much happier once I get to whatever this thing that, by the way, doesn't even exist, is not even a real thing yet, because it's the future, we don't have it. It hasn't happened yet. We have to really lean on this idea that this present moment is all really we have. Like, there's nothing guaranteed in this life. The only thing guaranteed actually, in fact, is how much life changes. That's definitely guaranteed. Life will change. We will constantly go through change. Really great example that I want to give you guys is, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Passenger. I'm going to try to really like shorten it and give you like a small example of that. Okay, this movie takes place in space, in a different planet, where the space has shipped and it's headed to a specific destination. Okay, inside the ship there is passengers and crew members who are headed to this new planet. Okay, so they're leaving Earth to go to this new planet where the ship has sailed, and it's going to take 120 something years for the ship to arrive to the new destination. This ship has taken off, and in the midst of the journey, okay, one person out of the whole entire passengers and crew members that are in the ship wakes up. Like, and one thing that I should emphasize is that obviously all these people, they're not supposed to be awake for 120 years. Like, they're supposed to be in hibernation mode, where they're hibernating until they get to their new destination. So to give context to the movie, this one passenger wakes up, and he's not supposed to wake up because, again, this is the ship is on a journey. So on this journey, he wakes up and he's like, wait a minute, I don't think I was supposed to wake up. Like, he's confused and he's like lost and he's going through all these things. And then this passenger finds himself where he has been completely stripped down of everything. There's no noise anymore. It's completely quiet on the ship. he is completely by himself. There's nothing going on around him anymore, and there is no noise. It's just him and who he is as a person. That's it. That's all he gets. On this ship, there is a robot slash human person looking thing who is a bartender at a bar. Okay, so every day that he's there after he woke up and realizing that nobody else woke up, and he's gonna have 90 more years to go. So he's woken up. This ship is on a journey. He has 90 more years to go before he can get to his destination, which is insane to think about. So there is this bartender person slash he's really a robot. He's like half human, half robot, which is creepy. But he goes to this bartender who is this robot every single day, and he would speak to him. And in the conversations that they're having, the robot actually says something completely profound, and is where I found had a lot of wisdom and a lot of like depth in it. And I'm going to explain that in a second. But the point I'm trying to make to you is when you're in that space and time where you feel stuck, because now he feels stuck. This guy is stuck in this place where he is not in Earth anymore. So he left Earth for a reason. He did not want to be part of that anymore. He wanted a fresh start. He wanted a new life where, again, the vision that we talked about, this vision that he had in his mind of where he just knew his life was going to be amazing in this new planet that he's headed to. He wakes up, he's confused, and what I want to say to you is that with this movie, I'm using this example because I really want y'all to get it. In the same way, it's in this place of in between that we feel stuck. We feel stuck in our situation, you know? We don't really know what's going on. And what's left is when all of this noise and stuff is out of the way, it's us. It's just us. Our patterns, our habits, who we are as a person, how we show up when all this crazy stuff is stripped away from us. That is the only thing that's actually left. And in that place, it's very easy to find ourselves stuck and not knowing and unsettled and feel very, 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 very uncomfortable. The way I can describe it, at least for how I feel like I experienced it, is genuinely I felt like I was just really waiting for my life to start. In a way, I realized really, like, you guys, when I was journaling past like few weeks, I realized that I genuinely have been living my life as if my life hasn't started yet. Like, I'm waiting for it to start because, you know, I'm working jobs that I may be not the most passionate about in a sense. Of course, I do things. I'm gonna do things completely. I'm gonna give it everything that I have, and I'm gonna show up the best that I can be. I'm still gonna be the best version of myself in those situations. But because I know this vision that the Lord has shown me for my life, because I'm not living that yet, it almost felt like the realization I had for myself is that I was waiting for life to like start, when in reality my life is here. You know, this is where I'm at. And we have to understand that we cannot make the mistake that we're supposed to be elsewhere. We're not supposed to be elsewhere. We're supposed to be where we are. Whatever situation that you're in and wherever life has planted you, that's exactly where you're supposed to be. So you need to implement the idea that you have to literally bloom wherever life plants you with grace. You just have to bloom with grace because you don't have any other option. So the point I'm trying to make is, as he's feeling stuck in his situation and, you know, he's freaking out, he's like, I'm missing out, I'm not on the planet that I want to be at, like, this is crazy, I'm gonna be, like, I'm gonna die, like, this is crazy. He's like upset, he's like, how could this happen to me? He tries to go back to hibernation, try to make himself fall asleep. He couldn't do it, but bartender gives him this profound quote, which I wish I can find the exact wordings, but he told him, you think that once you arrive there and once you get there, you're gonna be happy. You think that you're going to be at peace once you get to your destination, when in reality, nothing is gonna change. You're still gonna be you, you're still gonna be unhappy, you are still gonna be with no peace. And he made that point, and I was like, wow, that is actually insane, because that's exactly how I've been feeling like, and maybe that's how you feel too. And it's okay to be in that place, because when you're in the in-between, the most important thing to understand is that you are in preparation. You are in complete preparation season, okay? Whether whatever you had in your mind happens for you or not, you need to completely get it through your brain that you are in complete preparation. God is training you. He is getting you ready for whatever is to come. Whether it comes or not, it doesn't matter. How are you going to treat every single day of your life? That is what matters. And with the movie, and then he starts to really enjoy life, you know. He started to use the amenities in the ship, and he started to kind of have fun. He's doing all kinds of crazy things, and then he finally decides, you know what, I'm actually gonna wake somebody up. So he goes to choose which is really messed up, by the way. He picks a girl, and then they fall in love, and he starts to work out, and he starts to do all these things, and then every single day he would wake up, he was trying to be better, because it did not matter how long it's going to take him to get to the destination that he's headed to. Every day he woke up, he made the best out of it. And the point I'm trying to make to you is that at first, like I said, he was feeling like something was wrong, and that he had to fix the problem, and he had to do this, and he had to force things, and he had to do this, that, and the next, and do the best that he can to put things back in order, where he surrendered completely right after that, where the robot told him the message, and he completely surrendered, and he was like, whoa, okay, maybe he's this robot is correct. The robot said is that you need to focus on what you can control. There are a lot of things at this point that you cannot control. At this point, you still have 90 years to go. It is what it is. It's not like the ship is going to go back. There's no way to contact anyone. So you can either enjoy the 90 years that is to come, or you can just frown and cry and do all the crazy things. The same way, in the in-between season, you may be feeling like you're stuck, you're uncertain about things, you don't know what's going on, you feel very stressed out, you're unsure of what's gonna happen. In the same way, you need to understand God doesn't waste not even a single moment of our lives. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. God doesn't waste time. And there's no such a thing as you are supposed to be elsewhere. This idea you think that you're supposed to be somewhere else, you're not. You're supposed to be where you are. There's a reason why you are exactly where you are. There's a complete reason for that. And we must surrender to that fact. In this season, you don't have any choice but to face yourself and face the uncomfortable side of things that you may not want to see, the parts of you don't want to see. It exposes every single thing that's in you, and in the same way, like in the movie, it was exposing his character. It was showing who he was when there was nobody around. Nobody's watching him. And he had all the space for himself. And in the same way, you need to understand that the reason you feel uncomfortable and uncertain and maybe not the most comfortable is because you don't have a choice but to face the reality of who you really are. And I think that's the beauty in the in-between season, is that the number one thing it will do is it will expose who you are at the core of you, because you're no longer your past, and you're no longer how you've been living, but you are this version of this version that God is developing in order to bring you to who you want to become. This season and this time is used to ultimately prepare you to be the person that you want to be. Don't panic. Don't freak out when you're in the in-between season, because the number one sign is that it's going to expose who you truly are when no one is watching, and when there's no noise around you. You have no choice but to dig deep into who you really are as a person. And I think that's necessary for you to become the version of yourself that you want to be. If you want to become something, you want to do something with your life, you just want to be a different version of yourself in general, you cannot escape that season. It's not like you just skip, let's go to the next thing. You can't do that. But you can choose how you show up every single day of your life in that time, and how you live that time, and how you show up, and what you're gonna learn, and how you're gonna learn things. You can use it to the best of your advantage, actually. You can either sit frustrated and waiting and sad and mad and unhappy and this and that and the next, or you can choose how you live in it, which would be to really rejoice every single day of your life, to really appreciate the small little things, to really understand that this is really just a preparation to really get you to where you want to be. And be present. And know that your present moment is really all you have. That's all you have. This idea that this escapism, that's why the society that we live in is filled with escapism. That's why we have movies, and that's why we have TV shows, and we have drugs, this, that, and the next. It's wired to make us escape our reality so we don't face who we really are. And the problem when you don't face who you really are is that we have people that are just walking around with so much issues, so much undealt things, so much things, just pain and all these things, and they never resolved it, or they never really looked at it because they chose to just escape their life away. You don't want to be that person. That's the last place that you want to be in. I don't know about you guys, that's the last place I want to be in. And that's when he surrendered in the movie, and he decided to really enjoy himself and make the best out of it. And he decided to pick a spouse, which I think is crazy, to just wake somebody up and decide their life fate because you feel alone in a spaceship. That, that's a little crazy. But he did pick a partner, and he ends up falling in love with this person. She finds out later, which becomes a mess. They spend the rest of their life together. Sorry, spoiler alert. Sorry, but you get the point, is that he chose to make the best out of that time because he knew that he wasn't going to be able to go backwards, okay? And he knew that he can go back to hibernation and sleeping, and he knew that this is all that he gets right here, right now. He can either dwell in the past of the life he used to have, or whatever is going on around him, or he can choose to really show up every single day, even though it's a spaceship and there's nothing around them and they're literally in space, in the middle of nowhere, where they're headed to somewhere it's going to take 90 years to get to. 90 years, guys. Actually, this is a perfect example to use because 90 years is a long time, And the point, to me, what I got out of the movie is that it doesn't matter how long it's going to take you to get somewhere, or whether you get there or not. None of it matters. What matters is how you live in your every single day. How are you going to live, and how you're going to show up in every single day of your life. And for me, that's really what hit me. And ever since I realized that, I've been journaling every day and trying to really be present and be grateful for what I have, and really ground myself in my day-to-day and what I'm doing, because I realized how much of elsewhere I've been living, this idea that all these things that I want to do in life, which there's nothing wrong with that if you have something that you want to do with your life, but you can't be living there and neglecting what's here, because what's here is ultimately what's going to build your character to become the person that you need to become to be there. Does that make sense? Because you need to understand that your life is not waiting for you over there. It's happening right here, right in front of you. So you need to that is a treasure to really make sure that you take care of. That is the beauty of life, is that your life is right here, right now. My third point is that I think I already made it, which is that your mindset is everything. Your perspective is everything in life, and how you see and look at life is what I've realized out of all of this, because it all comes down to that. You can be in the most worst situation, and if your mindset is not where it needs to be, you are going to be the most miserable person that there ever exists. Okay? You can have everything you have in this world, or you want in this world, and if you still have the worst mindset, you're still going to be the most miserable person in this life. It doesn't matter. What matters is, it's not where you are that needs to change. It's how you look at where you are that needs to change, and you that needs to change, not your situation. your situation isn't gonna make you happy. Someone once told me, actually, my sister, who's like a mother to me, used to always tell me, and this used to really like get on me a little bit, but she used to always tell me, your happiness is in your pocket. So you can either decide to take it out of your pocket and enjoy it and do the best that you can. It's like currency, you know? Your happiness is currency. You can use it to purchase whatever you want and enjoy yourself. Or not. Or not. No one is gonna come in your pocket and pick that out and like live it for you. You have to be able to, it's within you. You have it. It's your choice whether you're gonna be happy where you are or not. Life is so short, guys. Like I said, we're only guaranteed today, so we have to decide how we're gonna live our lives, I feel like. And I'll make the point that transformation and life happens right here, right now. You know, it is your choice how you live it, and you have to understand character is being built, okay? Perseverance is being built, like how you maneuver life and how you handle things is being built. All of that is God is building inside of you. Like he's doing all these things that you're gonna, because once you get what you want, if you're not the person who's strong enough to hold that thing, you're gonna drop it. You're not gonna be able to carry it through. And when harder things come, how are you gonna be able to hold that through in your life? You're not gonna be able to handle it. So God would never give you something that you're not ready for. That's why I say, like, sometimes we're upset at God and we're yelling at him and we're mad at him about things, but it's like, in reality, it's like you were never ready for that thing. And you don't want God to give you what you're not ready for. And we fumble it, you know. God will give us something because we're like crying and being a baby about it. And we're like, we're ready. When in reality, our characteristic is not ready to handle that thing yet. We're not where we need to be to hold that thing yet. So God cares more about who we're becoming in the process rather than the thing itself. Like, he doesn't even care about that. He cares about who you are and who you're developing to be. I think I've said this in one of my videos in the past before, and it's that everybody loves to talk about the before and how everything was before, and everybody loves to celebrate the afterwards, right? Like what you get after. So you're an athlete, you trained, you won a game, everybody celebrates you for that. But nobody really talks about the in-between period. That in-between period that takes perseverance, that takes consistency, that takes discipline, that takes training, that takes learning how to do, that takes being strong, that takes training, that takes going through the struggle and learning everything. Nobody really talks about this thing, and it's, to me, probably the most important thing in life that we bypass or don't really pay attention to, because we think the greater thing is, the better thing is where the better thing we think is at, which is not the reality. It's not the reality. It's actually the things that you go through that ultimately makes you who you are, that will ultimately, once you get to the thing, that will allow you to hold the thing. Does that make sense? I know I'm making sense. I hope I'm making sense, y'all. The middle is quiet. It's repetitive. It's uncertain. It's not glamorous. It's not this shiny thing that happens. It's rather what stretches you. It's what makes you stronger. It's what builds character. It's what makes you who you really are, to ultimately hold what God has for you, or to become the person that the Lord know that you are supposed to become. Once you understand this concept, everything changes. The way you think, your perspective on life, how you show up, how you approach things, your mindset, all of it will shift because you have that understanding and you're implementing it into your life. When you know that it's stretching you, when you know it's building your characters, when you know that this is for your greater good and it's training ground, it's preparation, you will show up different. You will have a better perspective on life, and you will be more positive, and you will know that you're walking with purpose. So many of us are out of purpose, and we don't know what our purpose in this life is because we don't have an understanding of the in-between season, or some of us, we know our purpose and the Lord has revealed it to us, but we lose our purpose in the middle because we don't understand what the in-between is supposed to do. Or we do understand it, but we don't know how to implement it into our lives. And we fall back into not knowing our purpose or being lost and confused and all these things. And it's like the thing that will shake you and remind you that, hey, like, you are just being prepared. That's all it is. That is all it is. You're being prepared. You are being trained. Like, without being trained, somebody cannot become a cop. Okay? Without being trained, somebody cannot be in the military. Like, you have to be trained and you have to go through the process to do and to go out there in the field and do the thing. It's as simple as that. So maybe you're not stuck. Maybe you're not behind. You are not doing anything wrong. You are just being formed into the person you need to become to hold the thing that you want in this life. And your purpose isn't about what you do. It's actually about the thing you do. What does that do to people? How do people get impacted by that? And what is that doing in this world? That's what your purpose is. So therefore, you need to have the characteristics and the personality and the ability to be who you need to be to hold that. And that's the only way. So you can't have one without the other. It is very important to understand this concept. You think that you're waiting for your life to start, to the point that I made earlier, and what I told you to keep it in the back of your head as you watch this video. But your life is right here, right now, and you are living it. Please see what you have in front of you, guys. Be able to just put your hand on it. The things that we talked about, being present, really understanding what it is that you are wanting in this life, and knowing that everything that you've ever wanted is within inside of you and is accessible to you. And if you are connected to God and the Lord is in your life and you are living every single day in communion with the Lord and you have a relationship with God, you're asking Him to guide you and direct you and show you the way, and He is the leader in your life, you cannot lose in this life. And you have to know that your life is not elsewhere. You're not this vision this like la la land that you have in your mind. Maybe if you're like me, and maybe some of you guys relate to this, please comment down below and let me know, because if you don't relate, you don't relate. But a lot of us feel this way, and I know this is the majority of us living our lives in this. If it's not a vision that you have, you are living your life in escape mode. You don't see what's in front of you. You don't know what's in front of you. You cannot just be grateful for what you have. You don't know how to hold what's already within you. And if you think it's elsewhere and it's better, it's somewhere better and greater, and you cannot just see what's in front of you, just know that's the real reason you are unhappy, and that's probably the reason that you'll probably never be content. A lot of us, we have so many options, especially nowadays in this world that we live in. We have so many things that are just at our hand. With a snap of a finger, we can just do whatever we want, be with whoever we want, do whatever we want. And it's very easy to escape and just not see yourself the way the Lord sees you. Stop and think for a second and really dive deep into who you really are. Because those are the times where when the Lord, like I said, 3 points that I made today. When you're in the in-between season, the Lord is going to expose the real you. Okay, this is the you with no filter. You're no longer your past. You're not doing the things that you used to do in the past. But you also have a vision where you want to be, but you're not there yet. So that's not real yet. It's okay to have vision. It's okay to hold that vision. But you're in the middle. Okay, where you're in between, you are going to feel extremely naked and stripped of every single thing, all the noise and all the crazy stuff that's going on, and you are just with the Lord and you are present there. that is the most valuable place that you could ever be in your life. So for the enemy to make you think that you are behind, you are not where you are supposed to be, you're supposed to be elsewhere living your best life, that's the lie of the enemy. We do not confirm with that, because whatever you confirm and whatever you affirm with and whatever you agree with is ultimately who you become. So you don't want that. You need to disagree with that and say, actually, I'm in the in-between season where the Lord is really exposing who I really am. Like, this is, oh my God, this is really who I really am. Like, I need to take account to who I really am. So I need to change some things. I need to really learn everything. I need to be a sponge and learn everything that I need to learn. The second thing I talked about is you cannot escape your in-between season, you guys. I have been trying to do this my whole life, I think. And it's kind of embarrassing to admit, but it is true. You can't escape it, guys. You can't just jump and get to where you want to get to. You can't do that. You just can't. You cannot. You gotta go through it. But you can make the best out of it. You really can, guys. You are here right now, and this is what you have, and you can make the best out of it. It doesn't have to be a thing of, I don't have what I want, and I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be sad. This is the real reason you're unhappy. It's the real reason you're unhappy. The truth is that the real reason you're unhappy is because of this reason. So don't just sit there and say, I don't know what I want. No. It's like, just be content. Just be content, bro. There's so much value. If you just sit there and just take note of every single thing that you have in your life and be grateful for that, you don't understand how much everything shifts within you even. The third point that I made is in the in-between season, this is the most valuable season because you get to be transformed by the Lord. God just transforms you like no other. He cleanses you from in and out. He cleans you up. He makes you new. He builds your character. He makes you strong. He gives you all the tools and the ability and all the things to be the person that you are supposed to be in order to hold the thing that you're supposed to hold and to be the person that you're supposed to be. The last thing I would say is, even in the movie, it's interesting how the movie ended and everything, and it's basically that throughout the whole entire journey, he surrendered and he really made the best out of where he was. And the movie ended with basically an outcome of the whole point of the movie, I feel like, to me, was like, hey, you gotta enjoy where you are and make the best out of it and build your character through it and be the best that you can be where you are at. Basically, just bloom with grace wherever life plants you. I'll leave you with this. The way you live your life and the in-between is ultimately going to determine who you become when you arrive to your destination.